Good morning. Happy Thursday. This morning I listened to Heart versus Heat by Sarah Jake Roberts. She's one of my favorite. Such a powerful speaker. Anyways, I don't really want to butcher that message because it was so good. So I'm just going to read my notes and hopefully you can get some, I don't know, maybe God can speak to you through those notes that I wrote. The whole basis is with, David and Saul. Um, David was anointed king, Saul was king, and David was in his court and he played the harp. And so it was all about the fact that David had the heart for God. And in Saul's presence, Saul was jealous and insecure, and he, daggers. So heart versus heat is David had the heart for God, and Saul, God had kind of turned away from him. So the whole basis was not to let your heart be broken by things that happened to you, that was done to you from others, but instead to let God heal your heart and even pray for those who have hurt you, so that your heart can stay pure and so that the good work that God has for you, inside you, purpose for you, that you can see it to completion. And so, you know, the it's just I'm just going to start with my notes. So don't allow distressing spirits to cause us not to believe in people and things. So I take from that is like your heart's been broken, maybe by others, and then you just kind of quit. You quit believing in people. You quit trusting people. And that's not what you're to do. It's just you have to be more aware of who you can trust, and not do that so easily, believing and trusting in just anybody, because not anybody is for you. You have to really get to know someone and know their heart and their intentions. So humility, to be strong over stay strong in rooms where there are spears being thrown at you, that you know who is for you and that God has delivered you. And there may be people that you have to be around, but just know that you have to stay strong and not give in to the spears that are being thrown at you. Heat is, heart in position where you are just because it came your way doesn't have to pierce you. Okay, so there are going to be daggers thrown at you, but they don't have to pierce your heart. You can deflect from that. You can know the intention, can know where it's coming from. And just because a spear is being thrown at you doesn't mean that you have to take it to heart and let it stop you. This is a season that it's a necessity for your heart to remain pure. That means any unforgiveness in your heart, you have to get rid of. You have to take that to God, and let Him heal that within you. And the way of doing that is, we're all broken people. And, if you can look, and I call that a 360 mindset, is if you can look at the other person and see their brokenness, and you can see maybe why what happened. And when you have that understanding, it's so much easier to not let that harm you, and instead like pray for them, actually, because of your brokenness and where you've been, and the understanding that that person is broken. And this is why the attack is on you. It's not so much on you. It's really about themselves, and they're just broken. And like, pray for their healing, and pray that they to see things differently, and that they give it to God. And so it's really important that we pray, and this is where God says, pray for your enemies, and see them the way He sees them. And so I know that's hard, but that's possible, because God can renew your heart and make it pure. And you just need to decide. You have to decide that that's what you're going to do, that you're going to let God take this and let Him use it. You are so able to overcome more than you ever think possible, especially if God is with you and in you. Let's see, no, that's nice. Strength comes with the struggle. Okay. If there was no struggle, you would not have any power. We tend to become stronger when we're faced with adversity. It helps us to see that the power that God has, and that He works in and through that. If everything was all good and dandy, we wouldn't always see God's power, see His strength. We wouldn't even really go to Him to need it. So let's see what else. This is really good. Heart was so okay. What we are to become. We need to stop letting what happened to us determine our heart. Okay. If we stay in that mentality of what happened to us and not move forward to what God has planned for this, then we're never going to get to our destiny, guys. She used it like the spear that was thrown at you is like an incision for surgery, because it took that spear to go in you to create what's coming out of you. The change, the shift in your mental mindset, the direction and path of your life, the rooms that the Lord is putting you in, the doors that He's opening. Had you not had that initial incision caused by this other person, or thing, or whatever, the breaking point in which she talked about in another message, if you had not had that, you could not be doing what you're doing now, because God has what Satan meant for evil, God meant for good. And it's truly had to be that. You had to go through that. Promotion comes at the expense of pain. That's true. It is in our deepest, darkest hours that we draw near to God. And He said He's close to the brokenhearted. And revelations come and lessons are taught during that darkest hour where you feel all alone. God is doing a mighty work there if you are giving it to Him. And let's see. Sometimes you have to say goodbye. Sometimes the relationships that we're in and the people that we surround ourselves with, and I shared this with just the child yesterday at school, is they talked about being different, wanting change for their life. And I said, do your friends lift you up? Or they pull you down? Are you negative with them, or are you positive? Do you get in trouble with them, or do you do productive, healthy things? And the circle in which you surround yourself in is everything. And sometimes you have to say goodbye, and that hurts. But if you stay there, you're never going to reach your destiny, and you're never going to climb that wall that you have put up in front of yourself if you do not make some changes. I think the biggest thing is like we sit around, I say we because me was once like this. I would sit around just praying that God would deliver me from certain things. And, you know, from depression, from, you know, relationships that weren't healthy, from just hurting so bad, being attacked from the enemy in seemed like every way. And I just remember praying. And what I realize now is that you can't just pray for deliverance. You have to really make some steps to change. You have to do some things first. It's like, you know, you have to get up and say, okay, Lord, here I am. I got up. It takes you getting up, and it takes you recognizing that your life's not over. It's only just begun, and that God is really going to use the things that has happened to you in your life to fulfill your destiny. And your name is attached to generations. Your name's attached to so many people in your presence. You know, the church is a place that we get built up. The streets is where our ministry starts. If we're just ministering to other Christians, we're not going outside the walls. The Great Commission is on the streets, where people don't really know God or believe. And so, you know, we have to hit the streets, and we have to be real. And God and our wounds and our scars, those afflictions, when you share those and become authentic and transparent, those people that also have those scars and afflictions will feel safe. They will feel not alone, you know. And in this world, you don't want to feel alone. And, you know, when you have God, you're never alone. But he can surround you with a community of people that can lift you up and show you the right way. Be careful who that circle is. I think I talked in another talk about being around a circle of people that just enable us and that go along with our wrongdoings, and, you know, that aren't basing actions on the word. And if it's contradicting, you know, Christ, then we shouldn't be doing that. And so we need good people to hold us accountable and say, you know, you really shouldn't be doing that or saying that, or I don't want to hear that, because that's, you know, not how we're supposed to respond. And so, you know, your circle is very important. They're not to aid and abide and enable you. They're to help you walk the righteous path to becoming holy. And that takes strong believers, mature believers, and honest ones that will, no matter the cost, they're going to see that they also are wanting to do the right thing too. So, and you know, that's a fine line there, because some people are just loyal and don't really know how to speak out or speak up because they're not good with confrontation. I used to be like that, but I realized that some confrontation is healthy. It's necessary. And I posted on Facebook something about, if you speak truth and lose friends, oh well. You know, it's just, truth is necessary, guys, and truth prevails, and truth sets you free. And so truth, you know, God is all about truth, and ultimately truth does come out, and we just need to hold to that as much as we can. Let's see. I have to say goodbye. Let's see. You have to stay connected to God, and I think that's where I will end. Is that everything you're going through, no matter what it is, no matter how overwhelming, no matter how exciting, everything you do in life, you really just need to take it to God. If he's not in it, you don't want it, because it's just not what's right for you. It's not what he has for you. And so seek his will. And you know, the end goal Our goal is to make His will our will. What we want for our lives is ultimately what He wants for us. And to get to that place is a wonderful place. Just knowing that you can't trust yourself anymore, and understanding the schemes of the enemy, and how, to strategize where things are coming. It's so much easier on the battlefield when you know where your enemy's hiding, where you know where Satan is going to get you, and then you assemble your weapons and your arsenal, and you are prepared for that battle. And so that's strategy. And so to get that strategy, you really have to empower yourself through education and training and knowledge, and having that close relationship with God, so He can reveal to you the things that need to be grown in you. And guys, there's two words: humility and pure heart. You have to really constantly examine your motives, because we're human and our flesh wants things to happen. Oh, I'm going to hurt them because they hurt me. That's paying evil for evil, and that's not of God. So, you constantly have to take it to Him, and you're going to fail. But that progression about saying, I desire this. Ultimately, God knows your heart. He knows how hard you're working to become like Him, to become, what He wants you to become. And you just get up and you do it again. And you just keep seeking Him. He will win. He will win. Have a great day.